Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I'm Dr. Gail, and this is Nancy Jean with Nancy Jean's Garden. Thanks for joining us today. This is a new show. We're trying to test it out, but we're going to be doing healings with crystals. I will be doing the healings, and Nancy Jean will be talking about the crystals that I use. But I'm going to say hello to whoever's all in the chat here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cat Mama. Hey, Majestic Oracle. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Ruthie. Let's see who else is here. Hey, Ruthie. Hey, Mama, you're not really talking today. It's great talking in the chat. Hey, Karen Johnson. Hey, Cheryl. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Mimi Nee. Hey, Susie 007, who Susie is behind the scenes. She'll be monitoring the chats today. She's waving at me, and nobody can see her. She was trying to hide earlier. Hey, Rossi. Hey, Linda Frazier. Let's see who else is here. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Tina. Let's see. Hey, Carol Gallagher. Hey, Jenna M. Hey, Jennifer Cooper. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow. Wow, what a pretty name. Hey, Debbie Joyce. Everybody, thanks for joining us today. And again, I'm Dr. Gail, and this is Nancy Jean. We're doing something new today, so you're going to have to bear with us. And it's going to be healings that I normally do on the Slayer Healing Center. It'll be those type of healings, and I do a lot of stones, but Nancy Jean will be explaining a lot of the stones that are being used, since she is the expert on stones.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sonawat. Hey, Mary. Hey, Lanaya. Thanks for joining us today. Nancy Jean, do you have anything to say before we get started?
Yeah. Dr. Gail gives you a stone or one stone, but I was telling her, can I talk about the bags I found?
Yeah.
My healing bags? Okay. Before COVID, people used to come to me and they'd say, gee, I wish I could find a way to have like a little grid to carry with me. So I invented 3 grids, and they come with 3 stones in them and a fluorite in the center for you to build it. It's got a little card in here that explains all of the crystals that are in here. And this particular one they're called Art of the Heart, Body and Soul, and Crystal Cash. And each one of those has a different set of stones that go with it.
Is it easy to open it, Nancy Jean, to let them see what stones are in each bag?
Well, this is the one that's Art of the Heart. And I'll tell you where these came from, and they're kind of smushed up. I have a friend who runs a beauty parlor, and I'd given him a little bag of this, and he was like, that really worked. So I'd given him quite a few bags, and he'd been selling them for me. And then, of course, when COVID hit, he was lucky he had a salon, And so this is kind of what you get in a kit. This is the one for Art of the Heart.
And what stones are there?
Rose quartz, Amazonite, and a fluorite. It's a dark fluorite, but if you see it, and then there's a teeny tiny little fluorite crystal right there.
Now, for them to get it, what would be going on with them for them to decide I need one of Nancy Jean's healing bags?
Okay. If you can go to my website, which is crystaldirections.com, there's a store, there's a shop. Go up there, and because these are the only ones I'm ever going to have. I've got slightly less than 20. I think it's like 17 left. They're in there. If you go, they're $40 for the bag, and that includes that includes me mailing it to you and handling it for you. And like I said, in each bag is the little, and trust me, guys, get out your magnifying glass.
My question is okay, you have the bags. What's going on with me that I decide to go ahead? I need to check out Nancy Jean's Garden to get one of these bags. What's going on with me?
If it was you, at certain times it was like if you were at the point where you're trying to heal your heart or your own soul, that's Art of the Heart.
Okay, that's the heart.
If you're looking for prosperity, because guys, remember, this is all pre-COVID. This is before a lot of us were really I would presume that Crystal Cash would be to bring in prosperity, because I don't consider cash just the only prosperity we can bring in our lives. And body and soul is what your people come to you for a lot here is if you have a real legitimate healing problem that you're working on, and what you do is it tells you how to set the 3 crystals up with the fluorite in the center, how to fire it up and create a generator to help you energetically with dealing with those kinds of problems or bringing that element into your life.
And so the heart and soul one, what stones are in that one?
Okay, you'd ask me this, guys. I told you I did this before COVID.
Well,
I don't know what I ate yesterday. Let me see.
These questions are going to come out, and people are going to go, "I want one of those. What's in the bag? I need one of those. What's in that bag?" Especially the prosperity one. It isn't just money. It could be life. It can be almost anything. It could be metaphysical, that you want more things going on metaphysically.
It's pyrite, citrine, and
pyrite, citrine,
and green adventurine.
Okay.
And that's a crystal cache, and they're small enough you could actually carry. I have friends who carried them in their purses, but it's just another way, because I know that tying into crystals can really bring great healing, because I do it all the time when I build big grids. But a lot of people said, I can't afford a big grid. I don't have a place to put a big grid. And when I was manufacturing these bags, grids were not stuck into frames. Grids were, I gave you the layout and the stones, and I helped you lay it out once, and then people took a picture of that and they took it home and laid it out for themselves. So I had one woman who had a really marvelous healing grid, but she also had 3 of the nastiest cats in the world. And no matter where she put that grid, they were up there picking at it. So
if my cat was younger, she's 16.
Yeah.
She would have been one of those.
So it's kind of, it was kind of a compromise between the big grids and the other things. But like I said, I sold out of all of them early in COVID that I had possession of. I didn't even know any more existed. Saturday, my hairdresser called me and said, I found some of your stuff. Do you want it back? And I said, of course.
And so those are now on your website. How many?
They're on my website.
How many do you have? A lot, or just
about
a few?
17. About not 17 of each one. Altogether, I have 17.
So they're going to go fast. So anybody who wants one of those, which would be great. I mean, that's something that you could travel with instead of having to take your grid.
Oh yeah, you carry it with you. You carry the energy with you all the time. I have friends who tell me they still have theirs. 4 years later, and I don't know how many of them got sick or whatever else happened to them, because there was way too many of them to keep up with. But so that was my big exciting thing, other than not knowing what time the show was today.
Well, as I said, we're trying to work out the bugs and trying to figure this out. So everybody's got this learning experience. We know this is going to be a great show because I do a lot of healing with crystals, and it's knows the crystals. And you all hear me stumbling when people ask me what it is, and I'm going, I don't know. It's just what the guys told me to pick out.
Well, so they're probably leading you from when I've watched your show, and I do watch the show. You're going to chakra colors more than stone types, so we'll see.
All right. Do you want to go ahead and answer the few questions that you had?
I got a question, and a woman said, I have 2 wands. One is rounded, which is like this wand. This wand, if I wave it around me, it absorbs energy. And boy, does this one. When I got this crystal at first, it was completely clear. And with all the energetic changes we've had in the last few years, it keeps getting little fissures and things you can see in it. And it does absorb energy. If you want to direct your energy, you go to a crystal that's pointed. And it can be artificially pointed, and the best ones, of course, are the ones you dig out of the ground that have natural points. But either way, that will go.
That was questions from Mimi 4721.
Right. And then, and she's also wanted to know what was the best way to heal with crystals. And that takes more time. I can't just tell you. I mean, it depends on what you want to heal. Depends on what crystals you've got.
Right.
Live with that. I kind of live with it. And then the other question I got was,
I'm going to answer that question a little bit for her.
Okay.
Whenever it's something that's going on with you and you're needing to heal, first, sometimes the thing that needs to be is to have your whole system cleaned out. So I'll use
Apatite.
But actually, this is clear quartz. I'll
Is it
use
clear quartz?
yeah.
Because I've got one that's, this would look like clear quartz, but it is not. It's a stone called apatite, and that will work too.
Yeah, anything clear stone to
Mhm.
clear out the whole body is the best way to start off healing if you're not real
Mhm.
sure what to start with or what to do. I generally, especially when it's it's a virus or something that's systemic that's all over your body. That's what usually my guys make me.
And if you had a rounded tipped crystal, you could just wave this around your body, and that would work because it
Yeah,
absorbs.
actually, I have a moon, and this one is my favorite one that I use for clearing. That one and this one. Both of these are for when I go ahead and clear something up. When we were having all these colds and everything, I was about running out of these things to clear people because everybody had a virus. So, but anyway, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. I'm going to just go ahead.
No, I'm the only other question that I had was in my original posting on my channel. If you want to go see it, I had a picture of a multicolored fluorite, and fluorite picks up the color of the mineral that's around it, and it looks like a rainbow, and it's an absolutely fascinating rock. A lot of stones come with a lot of different colors that we don't even know. You use obsidian a lot to ground people, and I have obsidian this is obsidian, and it almost looks like just colored glass, but it comes in many colors. It comes in reds, yellows, blues, greens, and they tend to follow the chakra color. Like the blue one helps you with communication, the green one helps with your heart, the darker ones are the reddish ones, or the dark obsidian helps with your root chakras. So, and the yellow helps with your solar plexus. So, I had heard.
Would there be a reason why they would get those different color, like the blue obsidian or
Yeah,
green
if they wanted to work with, there's a turquoise one
versus a different turquoise color or green color stone. What would obsidian? For me, it seems like obsidian is a stronger stone. Than
it is. It's a very powerful stone, and this is tumbled blue, and it's just a very light blue. It enhances communication skills, blocks negativity. The color blue in obsidian is very close to spiritual properties. It's very much like an angelic blue. People who use obsidian stones seem to be more interested in religious things, and that is enhanced by this particular stone. And as compared to, this is the indigo stone. It's blue too, but for indigo, it's yellow. Okay, here it is. I'll get them. I got these out to be in order, Dr. Gail. It's tumbled. It can assist in breaking barriers, opening closed doors, so you can discover the truth of your own soul, this is communicating with yourself. Brings peace and calm, helps connect your mind to peace, brings on clarity for meditating, and they claim it's a very good stone for working with your third eye. And if you guys want to know where you can get obsidian, you can look around online. I had just read an article about all the different colors of obsidian, and I'd never seen anything, but this is my obsidian stone.
Oh,
but
wow.
if you take this out in the sun, see that you can see some faint lines on there.
Yeah, you can.
If you take this out, there's a huge rainbow running through it. And this is, but so that's the only obsidian I owned at the time. And I went to Colorado and I walked in a rock shop, and lo and behold, they had a whole big display of all these different obsidians. And it's a rock shop that I know about and I appreciate. These things look so close to glass. I'd almost have to want to buy it from a rock dealer, a crystal dealer.
Okay.
That's all my show until I have Dr. Gail.
All right. Well, I know people have been putting some questions in, and we're going to start off with some healings now. And for me, this does not supersede any medical advice you get from your doctor. And also, I do have guides if you were. I do work with the extraterrestrials, the ETs, and the main one I have is Medical Mike that helps me on healings. He is a gray hybrid. I do also have an Angel Gloria that helps, and I also have another ET guide that helps. And I'll have Archangel Michael or I'm trying to think of the rest of them. But anyway, they'll show up when somebody needs something special. They'll pop in and pop back out.
Mhm.
But these three right now are here with me now. And it does change on different shows on who does show up because it depends on what people need when they show up. So Raphael was the other one. He's going, hello, don't forget me. So he's also the other one that'll show up for special healing. But they kind of sit in the background. Medical Mike is the one that's in front, forward, and ready to go all the time. So he is the one here. He's the main one that works with on the healing shows. So, all right, Susie's in the background. She's monitoring the chat. So she will bring up our first question. Hey, Ruthie, I'm with Cat Mama. I'd gladly appreciate a healing, especially during this high energy time. Blessings to you. Okay, all right, let me see, Ruthie, what you need here. They're telling me that you need to be cleared out, so I'm going to be using the crystal quartz first, that you need to be cleared out, and they're showing me your third eye needs something, your third eye there. He's just looking at the third eye. He's going third eye, so we're going to clean you out with the clear quartz, and it looks like we're going to use amethyst for your third eye.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on with you, Ruthie, but you have all this energy that's coming in. You're going, oh, wait a minute. Let me cover up this third eye a little bit here. But they're wanting it open. They're wanting you to receive this information that's coming in. So we're going ahead and opening it up for you, Ruthie, as all your chakras were a little faded there. And so we cleared all that out. That third eye is the one that they're most interested in. And we just opened that back up. So you're going to get a lot of information. They're sitting here going, we promised it won't be as bad this time. Just go ahead and leave it open. All right. Okay, Nancy Jean, you want to go ahead and talk about?
Well, any stone, like I showed you, the dark blue obsidian, the indigo obsidian, is very good at working with that. Any of the stones that fall into the indigo, that's the sodalites and the lapises. And also sometimes the Amazonite helps. Amazonite's a protector. When you work with Amazonite, it not only lets the good stuff in, but it kind of filters away things you shouldn't have near you. When I do a grid for someone who claims I have to go by what they say. They have anxiety. I always try to work Amazonite in their grid somewhere because Amazonite is so protective.
Well, with her third eye, and I want to say, Ruthie, you might get a slight headache because it was open and that film is taken off. And it was a self-protection thing that you were doing. Are you getting any kind of feeling about her third eye or anything like that?
I don't do chakras.
Okay.
Not like you do it. I mean, I do it when I read them, but I don't. Right now, no. I got a feeling, yes. I have a feeling what you're saying is right. I didn't hear anything that rang untrue to me, and so I think you've covered it all.
Okay. Well, there you go, Ruthie. Okay. All right. Next. Hey, Cat Mama Meow. I'd gladly and appreciate accept any of and all healings you may offer to me. Cat Mama.
And all your cats.
Oh, they're saying ground, girl, ground. Woo.
Well, that's the word of the day for everybody before the 8th.
Yeah, and they're showing me the Septarian stone. I don't know if I'm showing it. That we're going to use for grounding. They're saying she really, 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 really needs to ground. And they're saying it will help if you do carry something in your pockets right now to help you ground, and most of the time I'm saying go outside and get into nature. They're saying you need more. You need.
No, I'll tell you a trick I learned a long time ago.
Okay.
I had a client who's very dear to me, still a good friend of mine, even though COVID came between ever seeing each other much. And he was the only son out of 9 sisters. So he was the nephew to 8 sisters and the son to 1. And he was the one everybody expected to come and solve all the family problems. So he came to me and he said, he actually, at one point, his family lives on the East Coast. He moved to the West Coast in hope they would understand you just can't fly across the country all the time to solve these problems. So he ended up settling in Dallas, but he came to my table and he said, I have to go home and deal with my family for the holidays. And there's a lot of people who have trauma around their family holidays. That poor boy had more problems and more trauma than. And so what we did is we spent about 15 minutes working with a quartz crystal that was almost like, this is what people use worry stones, thumb stones for. And he programmed in that stone that was not his job. And that when they started in on him, he just needed to reach in that pocket, rub that stone. And we had put so much energy in that stone that he would be immediately drawn back in and not get suckered into solving the world's problems. And I saw him after he came home from his long Thanksgiving holiday. And he said, it worked. It's like they all kept looking at me like, what's wrong? We're baiting you, and you're not getting talked into anything.
Yeah, when I started my YouTube channel, I had a tiger's eye as a thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And I held it in my hand the whole time because I was so nervous going live and doing these shows. And I had that poor little tiger's eye thumb stone.
Mm-hmm.
It travels in my car now, but I'm used to every live show I had. That's the one.
If you've never seen a thumb stone, this is a snowflake obsidian one. And you can see it's kind of concave in this side, and the other side is flat. And my thumb fits perfectly on it. So you can just rub it. This is here on my desk. And it's because of contrasts of things we have to do. These are readily available on the internet, not for me. I handle enough crap, but
and they're great. I mean, they are great, mm-hmm. Especially if you're nervous about something or you wanted to take your mind off of it. As I said, I did it on every live in the beginning. I had a thumb stone that I was a tiger's eye thumb stone.
That's the one you told me that you actually wore out. I mean, faster than the granite steps on cathedrals. Yes.
Yeah, because I do have some stones occasionally that I've had, or I've even had a pendulum who's asked to retire that I have worn out.
They do. They need to rest.
Yeah. So when your crystals don't seem to be working for you anymore, just ask them, do you want to retire? And one day when one of my pendulums was not working, mm-hmm. I asked if it wanted to retire, and it said yes, it was ready to take a break. So, mm-hmm. So go ahead and ask your crystals. So not even charging them or whatever. If they wanted to retire and they're done,
if they're done, and they may want to come back, you'll find it one day, and it'll say, "Hey, I'm here." They just need a vacation. They're like us. Their energy wears out too.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, Cat Mama, you would do well if you had a grounding stone right now mm-hmm. to help you ground more. You want to tell them about the septarian, what the stone's all about?
No, because I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember? It is a grounding stone. Let me see if I've got.
Well, I can tell you it's a grounding stone because it's a mix of different minerals. It's got the light, the dark, and the gray form in it. It's a metamorphic stone.
Yeah. It's also the first 3 chakras is good for.
Right.
Root, sacral, and your solar mm-hmm. plexus. It's good for all 3.
Because it goes from dark to medium to light. Yeah.
Right. And what they're asking is, Cat Mom, you need to ground. You got to do more grounding right now. You got to all the energy coming in. You got to plant your feet to the ground. But as I said, usually, I'm telling people to go outside and walk, but they're wanting you to go overboard. They're wanting you to carry stones. They're wanting you to really work on that.
We've had so many solar flares, and we have so much extra energy coming from outer space. We have so many more neutrinos breaking into our atmosphere. It's just a crazy time to be relatively open. But it's worse if you're closed because then you're just having nightmares.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's go to the next. Hey, Majestic Oracle. I'd love and appreciate a crystal healing today. Thank you, and crystal blessings return. Well, thank you. Okay, let's see. Crystal healing. Let me see what they're wanting to say about you. They're showing me your crown chakra. And it looks like we need to work on the crown chakra. It looks like to me your reception of those messages is not coming in very clearly. And then I'm trying to figure out which stone they're wanting me to use for that first. Looks like to me there's going to be 3 different stones they're wanting. Mm-hmm. So the first one we're going to do is another clear crystal just to clean it out first. Mm-hmm. Clean it out, clean that crown chakra out. And
is that a Merkaba?
Yeah, it is. As I dropped it.
No, don't show me. I don't want people knowing.
It's cute. Yes, it is. And so that's to clear her out. And let's see what they're wanting to do. I'm seeing, okay, malachite. They want to go with malachite, and this is a healing. They want to do that. Mm-hmm. And to Medical Mike's dancing around debating here what he wants for the third stone. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. The tiger side. Now, this isn't for the crown chakra. This is for your confidence. What he's saying is you need some confidence on what is coming in, the information. Mm-hmm. We cleared your crown chakra out and healed it, which was some damage there. I'm always thinking it's electronics, from electronics around your house or things that you might want to look at, trying to stop. Let's see, like I use Sungite, like mm-hmm. on the back of my phone. I have Sungite and I have it everywhere, mm-hmm. all my electronics. Let me see if that's what he's talking about.
It's interfering with her pineal gland. I can tell you right now because I can feel it.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me to a show that makes me feel things like that, Dr.
Gill. There you go. There's nothing better than expanding, because you teaching me all sorts of things. But
I know I need to expand, but I'm old.
We all need to expand, or being forced to expand. Mm-hmm. Here, you got this now. So yeah, it looks like to me, so the crown chakra is now cleared. So you should be able to get the information. So now the part is having the confidence to receive that information and know this is either your higher self or your guys that are giving you this information, and quit questioning that. As Nancy Jean said, your pineal gland, going to that, just you're needing a little bit of confidence on what you're hearing and seeing, and know that it is your higher self, and quit questioning it.
Is she right or left-handed? Because if it's things you're doing that are not working out well, things to your right will go wrong. Like you'll drop things, like Dr. Gail, you'll drop things.
Yeah, Majestic Oracle, let us know if you're right-handed or left-handed if you're in the chat.
Because what I feel is her brain's in a split. The energy is coming in, and one side's weaker than the other because it's being overused.
There she's saying, thank you. Yes, I'm extremely sensitive to electronics. I do have shungite as well.
Okay.
So, what else were you talking about? You want to talk about?
Well, I'm talking about the polarity that we all have in our bodies. And in the tarot, when you look at the chariot, there's 2 horses.
She's left-handed.
Okay. Then if you're grabbing things with your left hand or things are dropping out of your left hand, it's because you're overdoing for other people. If your coordination problem and the sort of disorientation you're feeling is on the right, it's because you're not letting things come into you that are beneficial to you. We all have a doing side and a receiving side. So your doing and your receiving side are different. And I have a funny feeling it's because people are offering her help and she's not taking it.
Yeah.
What a shock.
Exactly. Okay, you want to talk about these stones that I used for her?
Well, she used, the quartz you used was enhanced by
Okay, what
being a Merkaba. The malachite is a copper
I want to talk about the Merkaba part. It's
okay,
enhanced because of Merkaba.
because it's shaped in a Merkaba. Merkaba, when you study sacred geometry, the last form before the torus that forms around us that creates our complete energy field is the Merkaba. And that is literally the energy from the heavens is the upper, is the top triangle. Because what it is it's two pyramids shoved together. And one of the pyramids is our earthly self and reaching up. The other pyramid is the heavenly self coming down. And that, because that crystal has been put in that form, it makes it much stronger. The Merkaba I have is also quartz. It can be in any stone. So but that's what the symbolism of it is. The malachite has a lot of copper in it, and it's a heavier stone, and it actually is where the green of the heart runs into the dark of our soul. Hold it up and you can see that. And it's a power broker. It brings energy in. That's what you need that for.
Okay. And what about the tiger's eye?
Oh, tiger's eye is just wonderful. Tiger's eye is a soul stone. It means you can use it anywhere in your body, and it heals. It just brings in wonderful. I always thought it looked like honey or toast or things that you like to have that make you feel. I'm always going to go back to food, guys. I hate to say it. It's honey and toast, and it's what warms your soul. It's what it brings and it brings takes all those energies that might be fighting with each other and brings them into balance and sort of punks them around and says, okay, you go down here and you go up there.
I need a chocolate stone. What would be a chocolate stone? This could remind me of food.
I actually have, there is a stone called a chocolate something, and I can't remember what it is, but you guys got to realize I have a spreadsheet that has over 1,000 stones on it and what their characteristics are. So for me to carry it all, this is why when I build grids, I have to block everything else out and just work with that stuff.
Right. When I do the healing shows, that's exactly what I have to do. I have to isolate myself, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all that's coming in. Okay. All right. Next. Hey, Cheryl, I would love a crystal healing. Thanks. Okay, Cheryl, let's see what we have here. Immediately, I'm going heart. Okay, let me see if that's right. And that's right. I'm getting, Cheryl, that something's happened that, and they're showing me heart. And I think this is an emotional thing that's happened to you. And I'm getting a big yes on that. Cheryl, are you here in the chat? Can you tell me if something has recently happened that you're having some emotional, it almost feels like family, that you're having some issues with, you're not sure how to handle it, it's really hurt your heart, whatever this is, and they're wanting me to send you this Andera.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, just some Andera. This is green Andera.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going blue now. They're going showing me, moving me over to my blue stones. Okay, the blue Angelite. Also, we're going to send that to you.
Oh, that's good for this.
Yeah. Cheryl, are you here? Your elderly mom. Okay. So I'm so sorry. It is tough going through that. I'm one that had to take care of my elderly dad with dementia. And Cheryl, one of my best things, I don't know if you've already done this, one of the best things I ever did was get 2 books, 2 diaries, or whatever you want to call it, journals. And I had one that I wrote everything I was grateful for. And then the other book I called it my bitch book. I wrote everything down that was going wrong, the bad things happened, and people were getting tired of me complaining. And I didn't want to take it out on my father, just like I'm sure you don't want to take it out on your mom. So I would write it down. I'd write down everything that was wrong. And a lot of times what was the issues was also what's on the grateful list. And it really helped me get through those dark times when I was writing it down and being able to get it out and not talking to everybody else about continually telling everybody or griping to everybody. But it really did help me get through those times. And I would recommend, if you haven't done that yet, to go ahead and get started, because it's not easy. It's
No.
not an easy job.
And the other part about writing it down, you're getting it out of your soul.
That's exactly right. Getting it out. And I would do it every morning. And sometimes if it's a really bad day, I would start writing in it at night. But it really helped me just to get it out, And so anyway, so Cheryl, go ahead, and when we went and healed your heart. And so, Nancy, you want to talk about the stone, the Andera?
How are you spelling that?
Andara.
I don't know who told you that name. It's not a name I even know.
Oh, well, really, it's well, I know it's from outer space. Let's see.
Oh, it's a tektite?
Yeah, it's a tektite. There you go. It's a sub whatever. It's part of the tektites.
I can't even find it in this stones.
Yeah, there's a place here in California that has them.
Well, I'll warn you about something else. A lot of parts of the country call stones different things, and I can't even find it when I Googled it. So
you can't find Andera. So, well, how about just talk about tektites then?
Tektites are stones that are caused by some interreaction between us and outer space, and we already talked about one, shungite. Shungite was formed when 13 million years ago, some giant asteroid came in and smashed into a part that's now in between the Russia and Chinese border. And it burnt a big fat hole in the ground and created all this material. And the thing about shungite is it's 99.9% carbon. And when you see it at its most molecular level, it looks like a buckyball. If you don't know what that is, if you've ever seen a geodesic dome, if you put two geodesic domes together, since Buckminster Fuller created the form for the geodesic dome, it looks like two geodesic domes have been put together, and that's why they call them buckyballs when it's down at that molecular level. It's an incredibly pure stone. The other stones are peridot, have come from outer space. I've actually seen a meteorite that they found, and when they slice them up, sometimes there's two kinds of meteorites, iron and meteorites that are crystalline, and this one's like a stone, but in it was all these little windows, and they were all peridot. It's one of the earliest stones created. It's created on the earth as well in volcanoes.
Oh, is it? So it's created on Earth and outer space.
Yeah. And so I was reading a reader who does a lot of stuff, not Dr. Gail, but dealt with a lot of alien stuff. And her aliens, she told me, they keep telling me I need to get peridot. And I said, that's because they want you to go back to the old country, back to the planet you came from. But they are some of the earliest stones we have. Other tektites are Libyan glass. That's where meteorites hit the sand, and they come in so hard that they melt it. And those are beautiful. They're kind of gold and yellow colors. But a tektite, the term tektite means any stone or crystal that's created because of interaction with the space brought it in. Something from space brought it in. Moldavite's another one that's very famous. And they all have different powers. Some people who are extremely earthbound almost can't deal with being around the power of some of those stones.
Well, me not being so earthbound, Moldavite's tough for me. So, but I'm fine with all the rest of Moldavite's.
Moldavite's hard. It's a really, really hard. And it may be because you are from outer space, and it's like, why are you tying to something here on the ground?
Yeah, probably. I just know I keep that stone way over there, way over there. So, and I saw somebody who was wearing here on Mount Shasta, and she was wearing a huge one. I mean, it was about not that big.
It couldn't be that big. They're big as about a teardrop, maybe this deep.
It was as big as this that she was wearing. It was humongous, and she had that, and she had a Herkimer diamond with it. And I'm going, and of course she had all this stuff. She had a lot of money. You can imagine
Mhm.
that necklace cost, but that's what she wore all the time. And I was like, wow, I don't know that I could take that kind of energy. And
Well,
anyway,
it's good that she had the Herkimer with it because it's a very, very grounded stone. It's a very clear like quartz. But I have a necklace that has a moldavite, a little teeny tiny geode. I mean, it's the smallest geode, but it's a geode. You can see the crystal form in the middle. It's got some obsidian to ground me, and pink tourmaline, which is normally tourmaline looks black, but there is pink tourmaline, and it sort of helps it. It's a friend of mine who's into crystals and into metaphysics of crystals, so she planned it out. It was made just for me. I can wear it all day. When I was in Colorado, I wore it every day.
okay. So, all right. I guess we can go to the next question. I'm getting all lost in all the stories here.
I know. I'll shut up.
No. I'm interested. No, I want to hear it all. And that's how I'm getting lost listening to you going, oh my gosh, really? Really?
Mhm.
So, okay. All right. Let's go to the next question. Hey, Leah. Sharon's like, can I reframe my question? I came in at 3:05 p.m. May I get a crystal reading?
Okay.
Hey, Leah. Okay. All right. So you want a crystal? Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right, Leah, you need to work on that throat chakra. Okay, let me see what's going on with that. Okay, looks like to me you're having some difficulties expressing yourself, and we're going to go ahead and heal that throat chakra. But it looks like to me there's solar plexus involved in this also. It looks like you're not having the confidence, and I feel like it's more in the metaphysical world in itself. Now, whatever's coming about, you're either questioning yourself or something's going on. But I'm going to send you some lapis right here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also going to do citrine.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever this is going on with you, Leah, are you in the chat? Is something going on that you are backing down or not expressing yourself? Maybe somebody, your family doesn't approve of what you're doing or something like that. But it looks like to me they're wanting you to go ahead and step forward. So Leah, is there something holding you back from expressing yourself, or is it kind of getting that it's family oriented, that you're having trouble expressing yourself, and that makes you kind of question what you want to do or where you want to go? So, Miss Jean, you want to talk about those crystals, and I'll see.
Yeah. I think the lapis is a great one for you because it's full of the energy of spiritual properties. It's one of the oldest stones. The blue is really true in it. And I think what you need to do is speak up for yourself.
It looks like she's a little afraid to because of
Well,
family.
that well, to get rid of fear, you need to do something that's aiming her into the root chakra because that's where all that hangs out.
It's also they were telling me she didn't have the confidence. Okay, she's saying not so much I have created boundaries and trying to reframe my words. Okay, well, that makes sense.
So you're moving in the right direction. Just because we tell you go do this doesn't mean tomorrow you're going to be all up and ready to run.
Right.
And Sharon, everybody should send Sharon lots of blessings and help her move as fast as she can because she helps every reader that's out here. So
that's for sure. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. You already talked about. Okay, we got those stones. Okay. All right. Next.
Isn't this the next one? Okay.
No, that's her comment.
Okay.
Transcend Dr. Gail, a few weeks ago, you gave me a partial healing from a lower back sciatica spinal stenosis. Your God said I couldn't handle a full healing. Can you try a partial again? Okay. All right. Let's see what we're going to do here. And I kind of remember that. I don't remember a lot when I'm going and channeling this information, but I kind of remember that they only wanted to do the couldn't go in and correct everything because it was going to be too brutal on you. And I'm getting a yes on that. So they're wanting some blue healing, and we're going to be using this blue lace agate. That's going to do some healing on that.
That's one of the gentler healing stones that's out there too.
Right, and we're having to be really careful with her because she was not ready to have the full healing, and it looks like we have to go in steps with her. And they're also wanting to clear out, and they're wanting to clear out the lower, looks like it's L3, 4, 5, and S1 that we're clearing out, and we're going to use a clear crystal here for that. And it is L3 or 4, and I'm assuming that's where the stenosis is. So we're clearing that out, and we've calmed down the nervous system with the blue. We've cleared out that area. And let me see what else they're wanting me to do now. Okay. Medical Mike's going to take over at this point. He is going in. Okay. You've got some, let me see if I can get a thing. You got some vertebrae. Here's my spine. And you got some vertebrae that are going off to the side a little bit. Because you have stenosis there, we can't do but so much. It only has to go an inch at a time. But he's going to go over there and clear some of this out. And one of these spinuses needs to be moved over a little bit. So he is going to go do just a little bit. And it can't be a lot. Can't go in there too much because of the stenosis. And so, let's see, Medical Mike is headed over that way. Okay, and he's clearing that area out. And that one vertebra that's so off, he's just moving it just a little bit. And it looks like it's L4 that's the big issue. Okay. And S1. S1 is actually the start of all the problems, S1. And that's sacral, the first vertebra in the sacrum. And that's the, I can show you that. And that's the lowest part where this is the sacral right here. I'm not sure it's that sacrum, the right here. And it's the vertebra right in here. That's the biggest issue with you right now. So, transit, it's going to take some more. You need to come back in some more. It's just going to take a little bit at a time. We can't just do but so much with that right now because it's so much a stenosis there. So I'm hoping you're getting a little bit of relief each time that you come in, but come again. We need to keep working on that. All right, Nancy Jean, go ahead and tell me about the stones that I used.
Okay, which stone did you use this time? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
I'm sitting there trying to remember. I used when I go into that, I don't remember a lot of it.
Blue lace agate. Yeah, we'll do that one. Blue lace agate is actually in one of my when I used to make my chakra eggs. It was at the heart, in the heart chakra. It was at the center, and then it had the 5 points around it, healing it. It's a really good soft energy stone. Being a soft energy doesn't mean it's not powerful. It just means it's not one of those stones that's going to whomp you over the head. Of course, all stones will whomp you over the head if you throw them at yourself. But it's a beautiful soft energy that I really like, and I love working with it. I love it when I have a grid that has a lot of blue in it because I have a real good source for blue lace agate. It's a beautiful stone. So it's relieving you slowly. And that's what you need to do. You know, our spines, if you break them quickly, they really, really hurt. If you ease them, they're fine.
Well, it's also chiropractor should say, Dr. Gail, you're like my chiropractor. Will you try? We'll try with you again. Thank you. And it is chiropractic adjustments is like an exercise program. You can't go in on a lot of people and just totally fix everything because you won't be able to walk the next day. You have to, one adjustment builds onto the next. It's like an exercise program. You have to build it up, especially somebody like Transcend has a lot of stuff going on. So people, when they say they keep going back to a chiropractor, it's because just can't go ahead and just do everything at one time. I put it right back in place. And they have to kind of build on it. And it's almost like putting your muscles and your nervous system and everything's involved. And you have to really look at that and don't cripple the person the way I try to adjust everything. So it's a really balancing act trying to do that. Okay.
Well, you didn't break overnight. You're not going to heal overnight.
Right. Exactly. Okay. All right. Next. Hey, Randy, may I have a healing, please? Full body, please, and thank you. Okay. I immediately go on solar plexus with you, Randy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you getting that too, Nancy Jean? Solar
Yeah,
plexus?
I got it centered. Need to start at the center and move both directions.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the citrine because that seems to be the center of the issue is the solar plexus. Oh, boom. Oh. There's something in there, Randy. Oh gosh, we have to get rid of this. Okay. And this is interfering with a lot of stuff. Whatever this is in the, I'm not even going to say what it looks like. I am going to say what it looks like. It looks like a flea. So, but it's a little tiny thing, but it is aggravating. Okay, Randy, let me see. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this.
Are you telling me she has a paper cut in her solar plexus?
It's a flea. A flea.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a little cut, but it looks like a little flea the way it kind of, anyway, it looks like a flea. So I'm going to go ahead and get over there and get rid of this. And then we're going to have to send back the citrine after this. And then we're going to have to do a whole chakra healing here. Okay. Okay. So it's gone, and we're going to go ahead and do citrine again.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are going to do this rainbow. Chakra stone.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually another thumb stone for me that I'll use. So this is also healing all of your chakras because this little thing in your solar plexus was affecting everything. So let me see if I need to do anything else. No, that's good. That's all I need to do. So I'm not sure how that happened. Well, we never knew a lot of times where these things come from. But anyway, there was something that was in your solar plexus.
It moved down there from her heart.
Okay. So
I guess Randy's a her.
It could be. So that was moving down from your heart chakra down your solar plexus, and it was affecting your own self-confidence. So we'll talk. Let's see. I do remember pulling this up. Do you want to talk about the chakra stone?
Mm-hmm. Mine's a little bigger.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
It's a triangle. But if you think about it, all that weight, it came out of your heart and now it pushed down in your solar plexus. And so it's in this yellow stripe. And I mean, the deal on citrine, which you're bringing in to try and help bring in the energy to heal you. Citrine was one of the first stones I ever bought years and years ago. And I was told by the person who was selling them that it's called the merchant's stone. And in the Middle Ages, people would not open their shop or have a stall or do anything without having a citrine in the room. And that included royalty. Their wizards would, or their people that were giving them guidance would make sure there was citrine in the room because citrine, it looked like gold. So they thought it was going to attract in the good energy.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Next. Hey, Carol. May I please have a physical and emotional healing of my heart? Thank you. Okay, Carol. Let's see what's going on with that heart. You're naming it. Let me make sure it is your heart, in which you're going to go big yes on that. Holy crap, yes. So let me see what they're wanting. Okay, we're going to start off easy on that because we're going to start off with rose quartz, is what they're telling me. And start off with rose quartz.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, that looks white, doesn't it? It is pink.
Our cameras tend to fade things out.
Yeah. So we're going to start off with that. And then we're going to do Malachite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, we're going to Venturine, then Malachite. Okay, we're going to do a Venturine.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to do Malachite. Okay, now they're wanting me to send you some blue Angelite to heal, to soothe all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry, whatever you're going through, Carol, because this there was quite a bit of damage there, and so we had to gradually go and heal that. So let me see if they want me to do anything else now. No, they're saying she's had enough. She's had enough. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I say, okay, Nancy, do you want to talk about those
Well,
stuff?
yeah. What hurts our hearts are it's an enzymatic response to a lot of stress, and we get too much cortisol built up in our body, and it actually attacks the little brain that's on our heart. That's the first place where we feel. And I just read an article about a woman who she was at work and she got a phone call and they said her husband had been in an accident, and they told her where it was. She got there, and when she got there, he was already dead. He was lying on the street. They had just walked away from trying to heal him. And so she went in, and they let her hug him. They let her touch him because it had been an auto accident. Everybody knew what it was. So she got home that night, and she also had a vascular blockage in her leg.
I'm sorry.
And all of a sudden she looked at her kids who had come to her house, and she said, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And they realized she was having a massive heart attack. Well, they did all the research to figure out what it was. They couldn't figure out what it was. And the cardiologist was feeling so defeated, went back to his office. And then he'd read an article about how you can die from grief. You can have so much stuff hit you at once. And so he'd read an article about some doctors in England that had a sort of treatment for it. It was sort of their last resort. And he put some kind of a chemical in her body that I don't know what it did, but it didn't make the pain. I mean, she was already passed out. And he told the kids, you can heal your mother. You can gather around her and tell her how much you're going to miss their father, how much they love her, how important it is for her to stay here. And he said, and you may need to do this for about 12 hours around her. And meanwhile, they were monitoring whatever the stuff was they put in her body. And it eventually, her heart returned to a normal rhythm. And it wasn't the blocked vessel, which had the doctor even known about. That's what he would have thought it was. It wasn't that. It was that she was literally dying from a broken heart because so much grief and so much cortisol and so much stress hormones were running into her body. It's literally your brain's attacking the little brain on your heart. And she's lived. I mean, so it takes a while, especially if you've had a lot of blows one after the other.
Yeah. When working in the hospital, which I worked for many years, it was very common for us to know people were having issues with grief, and it was kind of heart, and they're having heart symptoms. And even because I worked in open heart surgery for so many years, we could tell these people who had the will to live were suffering from grief. So it was again a fine line to figure out what that care that person needed. But one of my good friends that I worked with at the hospital, I can remember coming in one day and she just broken up with her boyfriend, and she looked at one of the surgeons. She says, "Can you heal my broken heart?" Saying that one day, and I don't know if it hurt surgery, and he's gone. That's a tough one to work with. So, anyway, everybody, we were at about an hour, so we were going to need to end the show. It has been great. Nancy Jean, thank you for coming on and giving us some insight on the stones and the things that we're healing with. Susie, thank you for helping us with the chat. Thank you all moderators and my old subscribers and new subscribers. I love you all. And we will, there's Nancy Jean's channel, go over and subscribe to her channel and subscribe. And so anyway, we will see you. I think my next show is on Saturday, and I will be with Terry at 9 o'clock Pacific time, 12 o'clock Eastern time. Nancy, when is your next show?
Not till Sunday. I'm going to be on live on Sunday morning with Scott Allen, and if you're a subscriber to my channel, you'll get the notice about it. That's the only time I discuss politics. You talk about a pain in the butt and a pain in your heart, but it's the one.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we will see y'all later. All right, bye-bye.